Proverbs Introduction. The book of Proverbs is full of wise sayings. These proverbs tell many truths about life. Solomon wrote some of these wise words. He told people how to live a good life. He wrote, "If you really want to gain knowledge, you must begin by having respect for the Lord." The words of Proverbs help make people wiser. If people do what God says, they will be wise. They cannot be wise and do bad things. They cannot be wise if they do not love God. Proverbs 1. Purpose. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. He was the son of David and the king of Israel. Proverbs teach you wisdom and instruct you. They help you understand wise sayings. They provide you with instruction and help you live wisely. They lead to what is right and honest and fair. They give understanding to childish people. They give knowledge and good sense to those who are young. Let wise people listen and add to what they have learned. Let those who understand what is right get guidance. What I'm teaching also helps you understand proverbs and stories. It helps you understand the sayings and riddles of those who are wise. If you really want to gain knowledge, you must begin by having respect for the Lord. But foolish people hate wisdom and instruction. Think and live wisely. A warning against sinful men. My son, listen to your father's advice. Don't turn away from your mother's teaching. What they teach you will be like a beautiful crown on your head. It will be like a chain to decorate your neck. My son, if sinful men tempt you, don't give in to them. They might say, "Come along with us. Let's hide and wait to kill someone who hasn't done anything wrong. Let's catch some harmless person in our trap. Let's swallow them alive as the grave does. Let's swallow them whole like those who go down into the pit. We'll get all kinds of valuable things. We'll fill our houses with what we steal. Cast lots with us for what they own. We'll share everything we take from them. My son, don't go along with them. Don't even set your feet on their paths. They are always in a hurry to sin. They are quick to spill someone's blood. How useless it is to spread a net where every bird can see it. Those who hide and wait will spill their own blood. They will be caught in their own trap. That's what happens to everyone who goes after money in the wrong way. That kind of money takes away the life of those who get it. Wisdom's warning. Out in the open, wisdom calls out. She raises her voice in a public place. On top of the city wall she cries out. Here is what she says near the gate of the city. How long will you childish people love your childish ways? How long will you rude people enjoy making fun of God and others? How long will you foolish people hate knowledge? Pay attention to my warning. Then I will pour out my thoughts to you. I will make known to you my teachings. But you refuse to listen when I call out to you. No one pays attention when I reach out my hand. You turn away from all my advice, and you do not accept my warning. So I will laugh at you when you are in danger. I will make fun of you when hard times come. I will laugh when hard times hit you like a storm. I will laugh when danger comes your way like a windstorm. I will make fun of you when suffering and trouble comes. Then you will call to me, but I won't answer. You will look for me, but you won't find me. You hated knowledge. You didn't choose to have respect for the Lord. You wouldn't accept my advice. You turned your backs on my warnings. So you will eat the fruit of the way you have lived. You will choke on the fruit of what you have planned. The wrong path that childish people take will kill them. Foolish people will be destroyed by being satisfied with the way they live. But those who listen to me will live in safety. They will be at ease and have no fear of being harmed. Proverbs 2. Good things come from wisdom. My son, accept my words. Store up my commands inside you. Let your ears listen to wisdom. Apply your heart to understanding. Call out for the ability to be wise. Cry out for understanding. Look for it as you would look for silver. Search for it as you would search for hidden treasure. Then you will understand how to have respect for the Lord. You will find out how to know God. The Lord gives wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from his mouth. He stores up success for honest people. He is like a shield to those who live without blame. He guards the path of those who are honest. He watches over the way of his faithful ones. You will understand what is right and honest and fair. You will understand the right way to live. Your heart will become wise. Your mind will delight in knowledge. Good sense will keep you safe. Understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of evil men. It will save you from men who twist their words. Men like that have left the straight paths to walk in dark ways. They take delight in doing what is wrong. They take joy in twisting everything around. Their paths are crooked. Their ways are not straight. Wisdom will save you from a woman who commits adultery. It will save you from a sinful woman and her tempting words. She has left the man she married when she was young. She has broken the promise she made in front of God. Surely her house leads down to death. Her paths lead to the spirits of the dead. No one who goes to her comes back or reaches the paths of life. You will walk in the ways of good people. You will follow the paths of those who do right. Honest people will live in the land. Those who are without blame will remain in it. But sinners will be cut off from the land. Those who aren't faithful will be torn away from it. Proverbs 3. More good things come from wisdom. My son, do not forget my teaching. Keep my commands in your heart. They will help you live for many years. They will bring you peace and success. Don't let love and truth ever leave you. Tie them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will find favor and a good name in the eyes of God and people. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. In all your ways obey him. Then he will make your paths smooth and straight. Don't be wise in your own eyes. Have respect for the Lord and avoid evil. That will bring health to your body. It will make your bones strong. Honor the Lord with your wealth. Give him the first share of all your crops. Then your storerooms will be so full they can't hold everything. Your huge jars will spill over with fresh wine. My son, do not hate the Lord's training. Do not object when he corrects you. The Lord trains those he loves. He is like a father who trains the son he is pleased with. Blessed is the one who finds wisdom. Blessed is the one who gains understanding. Wisdom pays better than silver does. She earns more than gold does. She is worth more than rubies. Nothing you want can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways. All her paths lead to peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her. Those who hold her close will be blessed. By wisdom the Lord laid the earth's foundations. Through understanding he set the heavens in place. By his knowledge the seas were separated, and the clouds dropped their dew. My son, do not let wisdom and understanding out of your sight. Hold on to good sense and the understanding of what is right. They will be life for you. They will be like a gracious necklace around your neck. Then you will go on your way in safety. You will not trip and fall. When you lie down, you won't be afraid. When you lie down, you will sleep soundly. Don't be terrified by sudden trouble. Don't be afraid when sinners are destroyed. The Lord will be at your side. He will keep your feet from being caught in a trap. Don't hold back good from those who are worthy of it. Don't hold it back when you can help. Suppose you already have something to give. Don't say to your neighbor, "Come back tomorrow, I'll give it to you then." Don't plan to harm your neighbor. He lives near you and trusts you. Don't bring charges against anyone for no reason. They have not harmed you. Don't be jealous of a person who hurts others. Don't choose any of their ways. The Lord really hates sinful people, but he makes honest people his closest friends. The Lord puts a curse on the houses of sinners, but he blesses the homes of those who do what is right. He makes fun of proud people who make fun of others, but he gives grace to those who are humble and treated badly. Wise people receive honor, but foolish people get only shame. Proverbs 4. Get wisdom at any cost. My sons, listen to a father's teaching. Pay attention and gain understanding. I give you good advice, so don't turn away from what I teach you. I, too, was once a young boy in my father's house, and my mother loved me deeply. Then my father taught me. He said to me, "Take hold of my words with all your heart. Keep my commands, and you will live. Get wisdom and get understanding. Don't forget my words or turn away from them. Stay close to wisdom, and she will keep you safe. Love her, and she will watch over you." To start being wise, you must first get wisdom. No matter what it costs, get understanding. Value wisdom highly, and she will lift you up. Hold her close, and she will honor you. She will set you a beautiful crown on your head. She will give you a glorious crown. My son, listen, accept what I say. Then you will live for many years. I instruct you in the way of wisdom. I lead you along straight paths. When you walk, nothing will slow you down. When you run, you won't trip and fall. Hold on to my teaching and don't let it go. Guard it well, because it is your life. Don't take the path of evil people. Don't live the way sinners do. Stay away from their path and don't travel on it. Turn away from it and go on your way. Sinners can't rest until they do what is evil. They can't sleep until they make someone sin. They do evil just as easily as they eat food. They hurt others as easily as they drink wine. The path of those who do right is like the sun in the morning. It shines brighter and brighter until the full light of day. But the way of those who do what is wrong is like deep darkness. They don't know what makes them trip and fall. My son, pay attention to what I say. Listen closely to my words. Don't let them out of your sight. Keep them in your heart. They are life to those who find them. They are health to a person's whole body. Above everything else, guard your heart. Everything you do comes from it. Don't speak with twisted words. Keep evil talk away from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Keep looking right in front of you. Think carefully about the paths that your feet walk on. Always choose the right ways. Don't turn to the right or left. Keep your feet from the path of evil. Proverbs 5, a warning against committing adultery. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen carefully to my wise sayings. Then you will continue to have good sense. Your lips will keep on speaking words of knowledge. A woman who commits adultery has lips that drip honey. What she says is smoother than olive oil. But in the end, she is like bitter poison. She cuts like a sword that has two edges. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She doesn't give any thought to her way of life. Her paths have no direction, but she doesn't realize it. My sons, listen to me. Don't turn away from what I say. Stay on a path far away from that evil woman. Don't even go near the door of her house. If you do, you will lose your honor to other people. You will give your self-respect to someone who is mean. Strangers will use up all your wealth. Your hard work will make someone else rich. At the end of your life, you will groan. Your skin and your body will be worn out. You will say, "How I hated to take advice. How my heart refused to be corrected. I would not obey my teachers. I wouldn't listen to those who taught me. I was soon in deep trouble." It happened right in front of the whole assembly of God's people. Drink water from your own well. Drink running water from your own spring. Should your springs pour out into the streets? Should your streams of water pour out in public places? No. Let them belong to you alone. Never share them with strangers. May your fountain be blessed. May the wife you married when you were young make you happy. She is like a loving doe, a graceful deer. May her breasts always satisfy you. May you always be captured by her love. My son, why be captured by another man's wife? Why hug a woman who has gone astray? The Lord watches your ways. He studies all your paths. Sinners are trapped by their own evil acts. They are held tight by the ropes of their sins. They will die because they refuse to be corrected. Their sins will capture them because they were very foolish. Proverbs 6. Warnings against foolish acts. My son, don't promise to pay for what your neighbor owes. Don't agree to pay a stranger's bill. Don't be trapped by what you have said. Don't be caught by words of your mouth. Instead, my son, do something to free yourself. Don't fall into your neighbor's hands. Go until you can't go anymore. Don't let your neighbor rest. Don't let your eyes go to sleep. Don't let your eyelids close. As a deer frees itself from a hunter, free yourself. As a bird frees itself from a trapper, free yourself. You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander. It has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time. You lazy people, how long will you lie there? When will you get up from your sleep? You might sleep a little or take a little nap. You might even fold your hands and rest. Then you would be poor as if someone had robbed you. You would have little as if someone had stolen from you. An evil troublemaker goes around saying twisted things with his mouth. He winks with his eyes. He makes signals with his feet. He motions with his fingers. His plans are evil, and he lies in his heart. He is always stirring up fights. Trouble will catch up with him in an instant. He will suddenly be destroyed, and nothing can save him. There are 6 things the Lord hates. In fact, he hates 7 things. The Lord hates proud eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that kill those who aren't guilty. He also hates hearts that make evil plans and feet that are quick to do evil. He hates any witness who pours out lies and anyone who stirs up conflict in the community. A warning against committing adultery. My son, keep your father's command. Don't turn away from your mother's teaching. Always tie them on your heart. Put them around your neck. When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you wake up, they will speak to you. Your father's command is like a lamp. Your mother's teaching is like a light. And whatever instructs and corrects you leads to life. It keeps you from your neighbor's wife. It keeps you from the smooth talk of a woman who commits adultery. Don't hunger in your heart after her beauty. Don't let her eyes capture you. A prostitute can be bought for only a loaf of bread, but another man's wife hunts your very life. You can't shovel fire into your lap without burning your clothes. You can't walk on hot coals without burning your feet. It's the same for anyone who has sex with another man's wife. Anyone who touches her will be punished. People don't hate a thief who steals to fill his empty stomach, but when he is caught, he must pay 7 times as much as he stole. It may even cost him everything he has. A man who commits adultery has no sense. Anyone who does it destroys himself. He will be beaten up and dishonored. His shame will never be wiped away. Jealousy stirs up a husband's anger. He will show no mercy when he gets even. He won't accept any payment. He won't take any money, no matter how much he is offered. Proverbs 7. A warning against a woman who commits adultery. My son, obey my words. Store up my commands inside you. Obey my commands, and you will live. Guard my teachings as you would guard your own eyes. Tie them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister. Say to understanding, you are a member of my family. They will keep you from a woman who commits adultery. They will keep you from the smooth talk of a sinful wife. I stood at the window of my house. I looked down through it. Among those who were childish, I saw a young man who had no sense. He went down the street near that sinful woman's corner. He walked toward her house. The sun had gone down and the day was fading. The darkness of night was falling. A woman came out to meet him. She was dressed like a prostitute and had a clever plan. She was wild and pushy. She never stayed at home. Sometimes she's in the streets. Sometimes she's at other places. At every corner she waits. She took hold of the young man and kissed him. With a bold face she spoke to him. She said, "Today I offered what I promised I would. At home I have meat left over from my fellowship offering. So I came out to meet you. I looked for you and have found you. I have covered my bed with colored sheets from Egypt. I've perfumed my bed with spices. I used myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let's drink our fill of love until morning. Let's enjoy ourselves by sleeping together. My husband isn't home. He's gone on a long journey. He took his bag full of money. He won't be home for several days." She led him astray with her clever words. She charmed him with her smooth talk. All at once he followed her. He was like an ox going to be killed. He was like a deer stepping into a trap until an arrow struck its liver. He was like a bird rushing into a trap. Little did he know it would cost him his life. My sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Don't let your hearts turn to her ways. Don't step onto her paths. She has brought down a lot of men. She has killed a huge crowd. Her house is a road to the grave. It leads down to the place of the dead. Proverbs 8. Wisdom calls out. Doesn't wisdom call out? Doesn't understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way, she takes her place where the paths meet. Beside the gate leading into the city, she cries out at the entrance. She says, "People, I call out to you. I raise my voice to all human beings. You who are childish, get some good sense. You who are foolish, set your hearts on getting it. Listen, I have things to say that you can depend on. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true. My lips hate evil. All the words of my mouth are honest. None of them is twisted or sinful. To those who have understanding, all my words are right. To those who have found knowledge, they are true. Choose my teaching instead of silver. Choose knowledge rather than fine gold. Wisdom is worth more than rubies. Nothing you want can compare with her. I, wisdom, live together with understanding. I have knowledge and good sense. To have respect for the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and bragging. I hate evil ways and twisted words. I have good sense and give good advice. I have understanding and power. By me kings rule, leaders make laws that are fair. By me princes and nobles govern. It is by me that anyone rules on earth. I love those who love me. Those who look for me find me. With me are riches and honor. With me are lasting wealth and success. My fruit is better than fine gold. My gifts are better than the finest silver. I walk in ways that are honest. I take paths that are right. I leave riches to those who love me. I give them more than they have room for. The Lord created me as the first of his works, before his acts of long ago. I was formed a long, long time ago. I was formed at the very beginning, when the world was created. Before there were any oceans, I was born. It was before there were springs flowing with water. Before the mountains were settled in place, I was born. Before there were any hills, I was born. It happened before the Lord made the world and its fields. It was before he made the dust of the earth. I was there when he set the heavens in place, when he marked out the place where the sky meets the sea. I was there. That was when he put the clouds above. It was when he fixed the ocean springs in place. It was when he set limits for the sea, so that the waters had to obey his command. When the Lord marked out the foundations of the earth, I was there. I was constantly at his side. I was filled with delight day after day. I was always happy to be with him. His whole world filled me with joy. I took delight in all human beings. My children, listen to me. Blessed are those who keep my ways. Listen to my teaching and be wise. Don't turn away from it. Blessed are those who listen to me. They watch every day at my doors. They wait beside my doorway. Those who find me find life. They receive blessing from the Lord. But those who don't find me harm only themselves. Everyone who hates me loves death. Proverbs 9. Wisdom and foolishness call out. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up its 7 pillars. She has prepared her meat and mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her servants. She calls out from the highest point of the city. She says, "Let all who are childish come to my house." She speaks to those who have no sense. She says, "Come and eat my food, drink the wine I have mixed. Leave your childish ways, and you will live. Walk in the way of understanding." When you correct someone who makes fun of others, you might be laughed at. When you warn a sinner, you might get hurt. Don't warn those who make fun of others, or they will hate you. Warn those who are wise, and they will love you. Teach a wise person, and they will become even wiser. Teach a person who does right, and they will learn even more. If you want to become wise, you must begin by respecting the Lord. To know the Holy One is to gain understanding. Through wisdom, you will live a long time. Years will be added to your life. If you are wise, your wisdom will reward you. If you make fun of others, you alone will suffer. The woman called foolishness is wild. She is childish and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house. She sits at the highest point of the city. She calls out to those who pass by. She calls out to those who go straight on their way. She says, "Let all who are childish come to my house." She speaks to those who have no sense. She says, "Stolen water is sweet. Food eaten in secret tastes good." But they don't know that dead people are there. They don't know that her guests are deep in the place of the dead. Proverbs 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. These are the Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son makes his father glad, but a foolish son brings sorrow to his mother. Riches that are gained by sinning aren't worth anything, but doing what is right saves you from death. The Lord gives those who do right the food they need, but he lets those who do wrong go hungry. Hands that don't want to work make you poor, but hands that work hard bring wealth to you. A child who gathers crops in summer is wise, but a child who sleeps at harvest time brings shame. Blessings are like crowns on the heads of those who do right, but the trouble caused by what sinners say destroys them. The names of those who do right are used in blessings, but the names of those who do wrong will rot. A wise heart accepts commands, but foolish chattering destroys you. Anyone who lives without blame walks safely, but anyone who takes a crooked path will get caught. An evil wink gets you into trouble, and foolish chattering destroys you. The mouths of those who do right pour out life like a fountain, but the mouths of sinners hide their evil plans. Hate stirs up fights, but love erases all sins by forgiving them. Wisdom is found on the lips of those who understand what is right, but those who have no sense are punished. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouths of foolish people destroy them. The wealth of rich people is like a city that makes them feel safe, but having nothing destroys those who are poor. People who do what is right earn life, but sinners earn sin and death. Anyone who pays attention to correction shows the path to life, but anyone who refuses to be corrected leads others down the wrong path. Anyone who hides hatred with lying lips and spreads lies is foolish. Sin is not ended by using many words, but those who are wise control their tongues. The tongues of those who do right are like fine silver, but the hearts of those who do wrong aren't worth very much. The words of those who do right benefit many people, but those who are foolish die because they have no sense. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and it comes without painful work. A foolish person finds pleasure in evil plans, but a person who has understanding takes delight in wisdom. What sinners are afraid of will catch up with them, but those who do right will get what they want. When the storm is over, sinners are gone, but those who do right stand firm forever. Those who don't want to work hurt those who send them. They are like vinegar on the teeth or smoke in the eyes. Having respect for the Lord leads to a longer life, but the years of evil people are cut short. Those who do right can expect joy, but the hopes of sinners are bound to fail. The way of the Lord is a safe place for those without blame, but that way destroys those who do evil. Those who do right will never be removed from the land, but those who do wrong will not remain in it. The mouths of those who do right produce wisdom, but tongues that speak twisted words will be made silent. Those who do right know the proper thing to say, but those who do wrong speak only twisted words. Proverbs 11. The Lord hates it when people use scales to cheat others, but He is delighted when people use honest weights. When pride comes, shame follows, but wisdom comes to those who are not proud. Those who do what is right are guided by their honest lives, but those who aren't faithful are destroyed by their lies. Wealth isn't worth anything when God judges you, but doing what is right saves you from death. The ways of honest people are made straight because they do what is right, but those who do what is wrong are brought down by their own sins. Godly people are saved by doing what is right, but those who aren't faithful are trapped by evil longings. Hopes placed in human beings will die with them. Everything their power promised comes to nothing. Those who do right are saved from trouble, but trouble comes on those who do wrong. With their words, ungodly people destroy their neighbors, but those who do what is right escape because of their knowledge. When those who do right succeed, their city is glad. When those who do wrong die, people shout for joy. The blessing of honest people builds up a city, but the words of sinners destroy it. Whoever makes fun of their neighbor has no sense, but the one who has understanding controls their tongue. Those who talk about others will tell secrets, but those who can be trusted keep the secrets of others. Without guidance, a nation falls, but many good advisors can bring victory to a nation. Whoever promises to pay for what someone else owes will certainly suffer, but a person who doesn't agree to pay someone else's bill is safe. A woman who has a kind heart gains honor, but men who are not kind gain only wealth. Those who are kind benefit themselves, but mean people bring ruin on themselves. An evil person really earns nothing, but the one who plants what is right will certainly be rewarded. Surely right living leads to life, but whoever runs after evil finds death. The Lord hates those whose hearts are twisted, but He is pleased with those who live without blame. You can be sure that sinners will be punished, and you can also be sure that godly people will go free. A beautiful woman who has no sense is like a gold ring in a pig's nose. What godly people long for ends only in what is good, but what sinners hope for ends only in God's anger. One person gives freely but gets even richer. Another person doesn't give what they should but gets even poorer. Anyone who gives a lot will succeed. Anyone who renews others will be renewed. People ask for bad things to happen to those who store up grain for themselves. But people ask for God's blessing on those who are willing to sell. Anyone who looks for what is good will be blessed, but bad things will happen to a person who plans to do evil. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but those who do right will be as healthy as a green leaf. Those who bring ruin on their families will receive nothing but wind, and foolish people will serve wise people. The fruit that godly people bear is like a tree of life, and those who are wise save lives. Godly people get what they should get on earth, so ungodly people and sinners will certainly get what they should get. Proverbs 12. Anyone who loves correction loves knowledge. Anyone who hates to be corrected is stupid. The Lord blesses anyone who does good, but he judges anyone who plans to do evil. No one can become strong and steady by doing evil, but if people do what is right, they can't be removed from the land. An excellent woman is her husband's crown, but a wife who brings shame is like sickness in his bones. The plans of godly people are right, but the advice of sinners will lead you the wrong way. The words of those who are evil hide and wait to spill people's blood, but the speech of those who are honest saves them from traps like that. Sinners are destroyed and taken away, but the houses of godly people stand firm. A person is praised for how wise they are, but people hate anyone who has a twisted mind. Being nobody and having a servant is better than pretending to be somebody and having no food. Those who do what is right take good care of their animals, but the kindest acts of those who do wrong are mean. Those who farm their land will have plenty of food, but those who chase dreams have no sense. Those who do what is wrong are safe for just a while, but those who do what is right last forever. Those who do evil are trapped by their sinful talk, but those who have done no wrong escape trouble. Many good things come from what people say, and the work of their hands rewards them. The way of foolish people seems right to them, but those who are wise listen to advice. Foolish people are easily upset, but wise people pay no attention to hurtful words. An honest witness tells the truth, but a dishonest witness tells lies. The words of thoughtless people cut like swords, but the tongue of wise people brings healing. Truthful words last forever, but lies last for only a moment. There are lies in the hearts of those who plan evil, but there is joy for those who work to bring peace. No harm comes to godly people, but sinners have all the trouble they can handle. The Lord hates those whose lips tell lies, but he is pleased with people who tell the truth. Wise people keep their knowledge to themselves, but the hearts of foolish people shout foolish things. Hands that work hard will rule, but people who are lazy will be forced to work. Worry makes the heart heavy, but a kind word cheers it up. Godly people are careful about the friends they choose, but the way of sinners leads them down the wrong path. Lazy people do not even cook what they catch, but those who work hard eat their fill of what is hunted. There is life in doing what is right. Along that path you will never die. Proverbs 13. A wise son pays attention to what his father teaches him, but anyone who makes fun of others doesn't listen to warnings. The good things people say benefit them, but liars love to hurt others. Those who guard what they say guard their lives, but those who speak without thinking will be destroyed. People who refuse to work want things and get nothing, but the desires of people who work hard are completely satisfied. Those who do right hate what is false, but those who do wrong stink and bring shame on themselves. Doing right guards those who are honest, but evil destroys those who are sinful. Some people pretend to be rich but have nothing. Others pretend to be poor but have great wealth. A person's riches might save their life, but a poor person is not able to do anything about danger. The lights of godly people shine brightly, but the lamps of sinners are blown out. Where there is arguing, there is pride, but those who take advice are wise. Money gained in the wrong way disappears, but money gathered little by little grows. Hope that is put off makes one sick at heart, but a desire that is met is like a tree of life. Anyone who hates what they are taught will pay for it later, but a person who respects a command will be rewarded. The teaching of wise people is like a fountain that gives life. It turns those who listen to it away from the jaws of death. Good judgment wins favor, but the way of liars leads to their ruin. Wise people act with knowledge, but foolish people show how foolish they are. An evil messenger gets into trouble, but a trusted messenger brings healing. Those who turn away from their training become poor and ashamed, but those who accept warnings are honored. A desire that is met is like something that tastes sweet, but foolish people hate to turn away from evil. Walk with wise people and become wise. A companion of foolish people suffers harm. Hard times chase those who are sinful, but those who do right are rewarded with good things. A good person leaves what they own to their children and grandchildren, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for those who do right. An unplowed field produces food for poor people, but those who treat them badly destroy it all. Those who don't correct their children hate them, but those who love them are careful to correct them. Those who do right eat until they are full, but the stomachs of those who do wrong go hungry. Proverbs 14. A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears hers down with her own hands. Whoever has respect for the Lord lives a good life, but those who hate him walk down an evil path. The proud words of a foolish person sting like a whip, but the things wise people say keep them safe. Where there are no oxen, the feed box is empty, but a strong ox brings in huge harvests. An honest witness does not lie, but a dishonest witness pours out lies. Those who make fun of others look for wisdom and don't find it, but knowledge comes easily to those who understand what is right. Stay away from a foolish person. You won't find knowledge in what they say. People are wise and understanding when they think about the way they live. But people who are foolish when their foolish ways trick them. Foolish people laugh at making things right when they sin, but honest people try to do the right thing. Each heart knows its own sadness, and no one else can share its joy. The houses of sinners will be destroyed, but the tents of honest people will stand firm. There's a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. Even when you laugh, your heart can be hurting, and your joy can end in sadness. Those who aren't faithful will be paid back for what they've done, and good people will receive rewards for how they've lived. A childish person believes anything, but a wise person thinks about how they live. A wise person has respect for the Lord and avoids evil, but a foolish person has a bad temper yet feels secure. Anyone who gets angry quickly does foolish things, and a person who is tricky is hated. Childish people act in keeping with their foolish ways, but knowledge makes wise people feel like kings. Evil people will bow down in front of good people, and those who do wrong will bow down at the gates of those who do right. Poor people are avoided even by their neighbors, but rich people have many friends. It is a sin to hate your neighbor, but blessed is the person who is kind to those in need. Those who plan evil go down the wrong path, and those who plan good find love and truth. All hard work pays off. But if all you do is talk, you will be poor. The wealth of wise people is their crown, but the foolish ways of foolish people lead to what is foolish. An honest witness saves lives, but a dishonest witness tells lies. Anyone who shows respect for the Lord has a strong tower. It will be a safe place for their children. Respect for the Lord is like a fountain that gives life. It turns you away from the jaws of death. A large population is a king's glory, but a prince without followers is destroyed. Anyone who is patient has great understanding, but anyone who gets angry quickly shows how foolish they are. A peaceful heart gives life to the body, but jealousy rots the bones. Anyone who crushes poor people makes fun of their Maker. But anyone who is kind to those in need honors God. When trouble comes, sinners are brought down. But godly people seek safety in God even as they die. Wisdom rests in the hearts of those who understand what is right. And even among foolish people, she makes herself known. Doing what is right lifts people up. But sin brings judgment to any nation. A king is pleased with a wise servant, but a servant who is full of shame stirs up the king's anger. Proverbs 15. A gentle answer turns anger away, but mean words stir up anger. The tongues of wise people use knowledge well, but the mouths of foolish people pour out foolish words. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere. They watch those who are evil and those who are good. A tongue that calms is like a tree of life, but a tongue that tells lies produces a broken spirit. A foolish person turns their back on their parents' correction, but anyone who accepts correction shows understanding. The houses of those who do what is right hold great wealth, but those who do what is wrong earn only ruin. The lips of wise people spread knowledge, but the hearts of foolish people are not honest. The Lord hates the sacrifice of sinful people, but the prayers of honest people please him. The Lord hates how sinners live, but he loves those who run after what is right. Hard training is in store for anyone who leaves the right path. A person who hates to be corrected will die. Death and the grave lie open in front of the Lord, so human hearts certainly lie open to him. People who make fun of others don't like to be corrected, so they stay away from wise people. A happy heart makes a face look cheerful, but a sad heart produces a broken spirit. A heart that understands what is right looks for knowledge, but the mouths of foolish people feed on what is foolish. All the days of those who are crushed are filled with pain and suffering, but a cheerful heart enjoys a good time that never ends. It is better to have respect for the Lord and have little than to be rich and have trouble. A few vegetables where there is love are better than the finest meat where there is hatred. A person with a bad temper stirs up conflict, but a person who is patient calms things down. The way of people who don't want to work is blocked with thorns, but the path of honest people is a wide road. A wise son makes his father glad, but a foolish son hates his mother. A person who has no sense enjoys doing foolish things, but a person who has understanding walks straight ahead. Plans fail without good advice, but they succeed when there are many advisors. Joy is found in giving the right answer, and how good is a word spoken at the right time. The path of life leads up for those who are wise. It keeps them from going down to the place of the dead. The Lord tears down the proud person's house, but He keeps the widow's property safe. The Lord hates the thoughts of sinful people, but He considers kind words to be pure. Those who always want more bring ruin to their households, but a person who refuses to be paid to lie will live. The hearts of those who do right think about how they will answer, but the mouths of those who do wrong pour out evil. The Lord is far away from those who do wrong, but He hears the prayers of those who do right. The cheerful look of a messenger brings joy to your heart, and good news gives health to your body. Whoever listens to a warning that gives life will be at home among those who are wise. Those who turn away from correction hate themselves, but anyone who accepts correction gains understanding. Wisdom teaches you to have respect for the Lord, so don't be proud if you want to be honored. Proverbs 16. People make plans in their hearts, but the Lord puts the correct answer on their tongues. Everything a person does might seem pure to them, but the Lord knows why they do what they do. Commit to the Lord everything you do, then He will make your plans succeed. The Lord works everything out to the proper end. Even those who do wrong were made for a day of trouble. The Lord hates all those who have proud hearts. You can be sure that they will be punished. Through love and truth, sin is paid for. People avoid evil when they have respect for the Lord. When the way you live pleases the Lord, He makes even your enemies live at peace with you. It is better to have a little and do right than to have a lot and be unfair. In their hearts, human beings plan their lives, but the Lord decides where their steps will take them. A king speaks as if his words come from God, and what he says does not turn right into wrong. Honest scales and balances belong to the Lord. He made all the weights in the bag. A king hates it when his people do what is wrong. A ruler is made secure when they do what is right. Kings are pleased when what you say is honest. They value people who speak what is right. An angry king can order your death, but a wise person will try to calm him down. When a king's face is happy, it means life. His favor is like rain in the spring. It is much better to get wisdom than gold. It is much better to choose understanding than silver. The path of honest people takes them away from evil. Those who guard their ways guard their lives. If you are proud, you will be destroyed. If you are proud, you will fall. Suppose you are lowly in spirit along with those who are treated badly. That's better than sharing stolen goods with those who are proud. If anyone pays attention to what they're taught, they will succeed. Blessed is the person who trusts in the Lord. Wise hearts are known for understanding what is right. Kind words make people want to learn more. Understanding is like a fountain of life to those who have it, but foolish people are punished for the foolish things they do. The hearts of wise people guide their mouths. Their words make people want to learn more. Kind words are like honey. They are sweet to the spirit and bring healing to the body. There is a way that appears to be right, but in the end it leads to death. The hunger of workers makes them work. Their hunger drives them on. A worthless person plans to do evil things. Their words are like a burning fire. A twisted person stirs up conflict. Anyone who talks about others separates close friends. A person who wants to hurt others tries to get them to sin. That person leads them down a path that isn't good. Whoever winks with their eye is planning to do wrong. Whoever closes their lips tightly is up to no good. Gray hair is a glorious crown. You get it by living the right way. It is better to be patient than to fight. It is better to control your temper than to take a city. Lots are cast into the lap to make decisions, but everything they decide comes from the Lord. Proverbs 17. It is better to eat a dry crust of bread in peace and quiet than to eat a big dinner in a house full of fighting. A wise servant will rule over a shameful child. He will be given part of the property as if he were a family member. Fire tests silver, and heat tests gold, but the Lord tests our hearts. Evil people listen to lies. Lying people listen to evil. Anyone who laughs at those who are poor makes fun of their Maker. Anyone who is happy when others suffer will be punished. Grandchildren are like a crown to older people, and children are proud of their parents. Fancy words don't belong in the mouths of ungodly fools, and lies certainly don't belong in the mouths of rulers. Those who give money think it will buy them favors. They think that no matter where they turn, they will succeed. Whoever wants to show love forgives a wrong, but those who talk about it separate close friends. A person who understands what is right learns more from just a warning than a foolish person learns from 100 strokes with a whip. An evil person tries to keep others from obeying God. The messenger of death will be sent against them. It is better to meet a bear whose cubs have been stolen than to meet a foolish person who is acting foolishly. Evil will never leave the house of anyone who pays back evil for good. Starting to argue is like making a crack in a dam, so drop the matter before a fight breaks out. The Lord hates two things. He hates it when the guilty are set free. He also hates it when those who aren't guilty are punished. Why should a foolish person try to buy wisdom? They are not even able to understand it. A friend loves at all times. They are there to help when trouble comes. A person who has no sense agrees to pay what other people owe. It isn't wise to promise to pay other people's bills. The one who loves to argue loves to sin. The one who builds a high gate is just asking to be destroyed. If your heart is twisted, you won't succeed. If your tongue tells lies, you will get into trouble. It is sad to have a foolish child. The parents of a godless fool have no joy. A cheerful heart makes you healthy, but a broken spirit dries you up. Anyone who does wrong accepts favors in secret. Then they turn what is right into what is wrong. Anyone who understands what is right keeps wisdom in view, but the eyes of a foolish person look everywhere else. A foolish child makes his father sad and his mother sorry. It isn't good to find those who aren't guilty, so it certainly isn't good to whip officials just because they are honest. Anyone who has knowledge controls their words. Anyone who has understanding is not easily upset. We think even foolish people are wise if they keep silent. We think they understand what is right if they control their tongues. Proverbs 18. A person who isn't friendly looks out only for themselves. They oppose all good sense by starting fights. Foolish people don't want to understand. They take delight in saying only what they think. People hate it when evil comes, and they refuse to honor those who bring shame. The words of a person's mouth are like deep water, but the fountain of wisdom is like a flowing stream. It isn't good to favor those who do wrong. That would keep justice from those who aren't guilty. What foolish people say leads to arguing. They are just asking for a beating. The words of foolish people drag them down. They are trapped by what they say. The words of anyone who talks about others are like tasty bites of food. They go down deep inside you. Anyone who doesn't want to work is like someone who destroys. The name of the Lord is like a strong tower. Godly people run to it and are safe. The wealth of rich people is like a city that makes them feel safe. They think of it as a city with walls that can't be climbed. If a person's heart is proud, they will be destroyed. So don't be proud if you want to be honored. To answer before listening is foolish and shameful. A cheerful spirit gives strength even during sickness, but you can't keep going if you have a broken spirit. Those whose hearts understand what is right get knowledge. That's because the ears of those who are wise listen for it. A gift opens the door and helps the giver meet important people. In court, the first one to speak seems right. Then someone else comes forward and questions him. Casting lots will put a stop to arguing. It will keep the strongest enemies apart. A broken friendship is harder to handle than a city with high walls around it. And arguing is like the locked gates of a mighty city. Because of what they say, a person can fill their stomach. What their words produce can satisfy them. Your tongue has the power of life and death. Those who love to talk will eat the fruit of their words. The one who finds a wife finds what is good. He receives favor from the Lord. Poor people beg for mercy, but rich people answer in a mean way. A person with unfaithful friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Proverbs 19. It is better to be poor and to live without blame than to be foolish and to twist words around. Getting excited about something without knowledge isn't good. It's even worse to be in a hurry and miss the way. A person's own foolish acts destroy their life, but their heart is angry with the Lord. Wealth brings many friends, but even the closest friend of a poor person abandons them. A dishonest witness will be punished, and whoever pours out lies will not go free. Many try to win the favor of rulers, and everyone is the friend of a person who gives gifts. Poor people are avoided by their whole family. Their friends avoid them even more. The poor person runs after his friends to beg for help, but they can't be found. Anyone who gets wisdom loves life. Anyone who values understanding will soon succeed. A dishonest witness will be punished, and those who pour out lies will die. It isn't proper for a foolish person to live in great comfort, and it is much worse when a slave rules over princes. A person's wisdom makes them patient. They will be honored if they forgive someone who sins against them. A king's anger is like a lion's roar, but his favor is like dew on the grass. A foolish child is a father's ruin. A nagging wife is like dripping that never stops. You will receive houses and wealth from your parents, but a wise wife is given by the Lord. Anyone who doesn't want to work sleeps his life away, and a person who refuses to work goes hungry. Those who keep commandments keep their lives, but those who don't care how they live will die. Anyone who is kind to poor people lends to the Lord. God will reward them for what they have done. Train your children, because then there is hope. Don't do anything to bring about their deaths. A person with a bad temper must pay for it. If you save them, you will have to do it again. Listen to advice and accept correction. In the end, you will be counted among those who are wise. A person may have many plans in their heart, but the Lord's purpose wins out in the end. Everyone longs for love that never fails. It is better to be poor than to be a liar. Having respect for the Lord leads to life. Then you will be content and free from trouble. A person who doesn't want to work leaves his hand in the dish. He won't even bring it back up to his mouth. If you whip a person who makes fun of others, childish people will learn to be wise. If you warn those who already understand what is right, they will gain even more knowledge. Anyone who robs their father and drives out their mother is a child who brings shame and dishonor. My son, if you stop listening to what I teach you, you will wander away from the words of knowledge. A dishonest witness makes fun of what is right. The mouths of those who do wrong gulp down evil. Those who make fun of others will be judged. Foolish people will be punished. Proverbs 20. Wine causes you to make fun of others, and beer causes you to start fights. Anyone who is led astray by them is not wise. A king's anger brings terror like a lion's roar. Anyone who makes him angry may lose their life. Avoiding a fight brings honor to a person, but every foolish person is quick to argue. Anyone who refuses to work doesn't plow in the right season. When they look for a crop at harvest time, they don't find it. The purposes of a person's heart are like deep water, but one who has understanding brings them out. Many claim to have love that never fails, but who can find a faithful person? Those who do what is right live without blame. Blessed are their children after them. A king sits on his throne to judge. He gets rid of all evil when he sees it. No one can say, "I have kept my heart pure. I'm clean and I haven't sinned." The Lord hates two things. He hates weights that weigh things heavier or lighter than they really are. He also hates measures that measure things larger or smaller than they really are. Even small children are known by their actions. So is their conduct really pure and right? The Lord has made two things. He has made ears that hear. He has also made eyes that see. Don't love sleep, or you will become poor. Stay awake, and you will have more food than you need. It's no good, says a buyer. Then off they go and brag about what they bought. There is gold, and there are plenty of rubies, but lips that speak knowledge are a priceless jewel. Take the coat of one who puts up money for what a stranger owes. Hold it until you get paid back if it is done for an outsider. Food gained by cheating tastes sweet, but you will end up with a mouth full of gravel. Plans are made by asking for guidance. So if you go to war, get good advice. A person who talks about others tells secrets. So avoid anyone who talks too much. If anyone asks for bad things to happen to their father or mother, that person's lamp will be blown out in total darkness. Property that you claim too soon will not be blessed in the end. Don't say, "I'll get even with you for the wrong you did me." Wait for the Lord, and He will make things right for you. The Lord hates weights that weigh things heavier or lighter than they really are. Scales that are not honest don't please Him. The Lord directs a person's steps, so how can anyone understand their own way? A person is trapped if they make a hasty promise to God and only later thinks about what they said. A wise king gets rid of evil people. He runs the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of a person is the lamp of the Lord. It lights up what is deep down inside them. Love and truth keep a king safe. Faithful love makes his throne secure. Young men are proud of their strength. Gray hair brings honor to old men. Blows and wounds scrub evil away, and beatings make you pure deep down inside. Proverbs 21. In the Lord's hand the king's heart is like a stream of water. The Lord directs it toward all those who please him. A person might think their own ways are right, but the Lord knows what they are thinking. Do what is right and fair. The Lord accepts that more than sacrifices. The proud eyes and hearts of sinful people are like a field not plowed. Those things produce nothing good. The plans of people who work hard succeed. You can be just as sure that those in a hurry will become poor. A fortune made by people who tell lies amounts to nothing and leads to death. The harmful things that evil people do will drag them away. They refuse to do what is right. The path of those who are guilty is crooked, but the conduct of those who are not guilty is honest. It is better to live on a corner of a roof than to share a house with a nagging wife. Sinful people long to do evil. They don't show their neighbors any mercy. When you punish someone who makes fun of others, childish people get wise. By paying attention to wise people, the childish get knowledge. The blameless one knows where sinners live, and he destroys them. Whoever refuses to listen to the cries of poor people will also cry out and not be answered. A secret gift calms down anger. A hidden favor softens great anger. When you do what is fair, you make godly people glad. But you terrify those who do what is evil. Whoever leaves the path of understanding ends up with those who are dead. Anyone who loves pleasure will become poor. Anyone who loves wine and olive oil will never be rich. Evil people become the payment for setting godly people free. Those who aren't faithful are the payment for honest people. It is better to live in a desert than to live with a nagging wife who loves to argue. Wise people store up the best food and olive oil, but foolish people eat up everything they have. Anyone who wants to be godly and loving finds life, success, and honor. A wise person can attack a strong city. They can pull down the place of safety its people trust in. Those who are careful about what they say keep themselves out of trouble. A proud person is called a mocker. He thinks much too highly of himself. Some people will die while they are still hungry. That's because their hands refuse to work. All day long they hunger for more, but godly people give without holding back. God hates sacrifices that are brought by evil people. He hates it even more when they bring them for the wrong reason. Witnesses who aren't honest will die, but anyone who listens carefully will be a successful witness. Sinful people try to look as if they were bold, but honest people think about how they live. No wisdom, wise saying, or plan can succeed against the Lord. You can prepare a horse for the day of battle, but the power to win comes from the Lord. Proverbs 22. You should want a good name more than you want great riches. To be highly respected is better than having silver or gold. The Lord made rich people and poor people. That's what they have in common. Wise people see danger and go to a safe place, but childish people keep going and suffer for it. Being humble comes from having respect for the Lord. This will bring you wealth and honor and life. Thorns and traps lie in the paths of evil people, but those who value their lives stay away from them. Start children off on the right path, and even when they are old, they will not turn away from it. Rich people rule over those who are poor. Borrowers are slaves to lenders. Anyone who plants evil gathers a harvest of trouble. Their power to treat others badly will be destroyed. Those who give freely will be blessed. That's because they share their food with those who are poor. If you drive away those who make fun of others, fighting also goes away. Arguing and unkind words will stop. A person who has a pure and loving heart, speaks kindly, will be a friend of the king. The eyes of the Lord keep watch over knowledge, but he does away with the words of those who aren't faithful. People who don't want to work say, "There's a lion outside," or they say, "I'll be murdered if I go out into the streets." The mouth of a woman who commits adultery is like a deep pit. Any man the Lord is angry with falls into it. Children are going to do foolish things, but correcting them will drive that foolishness far away. You might treat poor people badly or give gifts to rich people. Trying to get rich in these ways will instead make you poor. 30 sayings of wise people. Saying 1. Pay attention and listen to the sayings of wise people. Apply your heart to the sayings I teach. It is pleasing when you keep them in your heart. Have all of them ready on your lips. You are the one I am teaching today. That's because I want you to trust in the Lord. I have written 30 sayings for you. They will give you knowledge and good advice. I am teaching you to be honest and to speak the truth. Then you can give honest reports to those you serve. Saying 2. Don't take advantage of poor people just because they are poor. Don't treat badly those who are in need by taking them to court. The Lord will stand up for them in court. He will require the lives of people who have taken the lives of those in need. Saying 3. Don't be a friend of a person who has a bad temper. Don't go around with a person who gets angry easily. You might learn their habits, and then you will be trapped by them. Saying 4. Don't agree to pay for what someone else owes, and don't agree to pay their bills for them. If you don't have the money to pay, your bed will be taken right out from under you. Saying 5. Don't move old boundary stones set up by your people of long ago. Saying 6. Do you see someone who does good work? That person will serve kings. That person won't serve officials of lower rank. Proverbs 23. Saying 7. When you sit down to eat with a ruler, look carefully at what's in front of you. Put a knife to your throat if you like to eat too much. Don't long for his fancy food. It can fool you. Saying 8. Don't wear yourself out to get rich. Don't trust how wise you think you are. When you take even a quick look at riches, they are gone. They grow wings and fly away into the sky like an eagle. Saying 9. Don't eat the food of anyone who doesn't want to share it. Don't long for his fancy food. He is the kind of person who is always thinking about how much it costs. Eat and drink, he says to you, but he doesn't mean it. You will throw up what little you have eaten. You will have wasted your words of praise. Saying 10. Don't speak to foolish people. They will laugh at your wise words. Saying 11. Don't move old boundary stones. Don't try to take over the fields of children whose fathers have died. That's because the God who guards them is strong. He will stand up for them in court against you. Saying 12. Apply your heart to what you are taught. Listen carefully to words of knowledge. Saying 13. Don't hold back correction from a child. If you correct them, they won't die, so correct them. Then you will save them from death. Saying 14. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will be very glad. Deep down inside, I will be happy when you say what is right. Saying 15. Do not long for what sinners have, but always show great respect for the Lord. There really is hope for you in days to come, so your hope will not be cut off. Saying 16. My son, listen and be wise. Set your heart on the right path. Don't join those who drink too much wine. Don't join those who stuff themselves with meat. Those who drink or eat too much will become poor. If they sleep too much, they'll have to wear rags. Saying 17. Listen to your father who gave you life. Don't hate your mother when she is old. Buy the truth and don't sell it. Get wisdom, instruction, and understanding as well. The father of a godly child is very happy. A man who has a wise son is glad. May your father and mother be glad. May the woman who gave birth to you be joyful. Saying 18. My son, give me your heart. May you be happy living the way you see me live. An unfaithful wife is like a deep pit. A wife who commits adultery is like a narrow well. She hides and waits like a thief. She causes many men to sin. Saying 19. Who has trouble? Who has sorrow? Who argues? Who has problems? Who has wounds for no reason? Who has red eyes? Those who spend too much time with wine, or those who like to taste wine mixed with spices. Don't look at wine when it is red. Don't look at it when it bubbles in the cup. And don't look at it when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake. It bites like a poisonous serpent. Your eyes will see strange sights. Your mind will imagine weird things. You will feel like someone sleeping on the ocean. You will think you are lying among the ropes in a boat. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? Proverbs 24, saying 20. Do not want what evil people have. Don't long to be with them. In their hearts they plan to hurt others. With their lips they talk about making trouble. Saying 21. By wisdom a house is built. Through understanding it is made secure. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with priceless and beautiful things. Saying 22. Wise people have success by means of great power. Those who have knowledge gather strength. If you go to war, you surely need guidance. If you want to win, you need many good advisors. Saying 23. Wisdom is too high for foolish people. They shouldn't speak when people meet at the city gate to conduct business. Saying 24. Anyone who thinks up sinful things to do will be known as one who plans evil. Foolish plans are sinful. People hate those who make fun of others. Saying 25. If you grow weak when trouble comes, your strength is very small. Save those who are being led away to death. Hold back those who are about to be killed. Don't say, but we didn't know anything about this. Doesn't the God who knows what you are thinking see it? Doesn't the God who guards your life know it? He will pay back everyone for what they have done. Saying 26. Eat honey, my son, because it is good. Honey from a honeycomb has a sweet taste. I want you to know that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is hope for you tomorrow. So your hope will not be cut off. Saying 27. Don't hide and wait like a burglar near a godly person's house. Don't rob their home. Even if godly people fall down 7 times, they always get up. But those who are evil trip and fall when trouble comes. Saying 28. Don't be happy when your enemy falls. When he trips, don't let your heart be glad. The Lord will see it, but he won't be pleased. He might turn his anger away from your enemy. Saying 29. Don't be upset because of evil people. Don't long for what sinners have. Tomorrow evil people won't have any hope. The lamps of sinners will be blown out. Saying 30. My son, have respect for the Lord and the king. Don't join with officials who disobey them. The Lord and the king will suddenly destroy them. Who knows what trouble those two can bring? More sayings of wise people. Here are more sayings of wise people. Taking sides in court is not good. A curse will fall on those who say the guilty are not guilty. Nations will ask for bad things to happen to them. People will speak against them. But it will go well with those who sentence guilty people. Rich blessings will come to them. An honest answer is like a kiss on the lips. Put your outdoor work in order. Get your fields ready. After that, build your house. Don't be a witness against your neighbor for no reason. Would you use your lips to tell lies? Don't say, I'll do to them what they have done to me. I'll get even with them for what they did. I went past the field of someone who didn't want to work. I went past the vineyard of someone who didn't have any sense. Thorns had grown up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds. The stone wall had fallen down. I applied my heart to what I observed. I learned a lesson from what I saw. You might sleep a little or take a little nap. You might even fold your hands and rest. Then you would be poor as if someone had robbed you. You would have little as if someone had stolen from you. Proverbs 25. More Proverbs of Solomon. These are more Proverbs of Solomon. They were gathered together by the men of Hezekiah, the king of Judah. When God hides a matter, he gets glory. When kings figure out a matter, they get glory. The heavens are high and the earth is deep. In the same way, the minds of kings are impossible to figure out. Remove the scum from the silver. Then the master worker can make something out of it. Remove ungodly officials from where the king is. Then the king can make his throne secure because of the godliness around him. Don't brag in front of the king. Don't claim a place among his great men. Let the king say to you, "Come up here." That's better than for him to shame you in front of his nobles. What you have seen with your own eyes, don't bring too quickly to court. What will you do in the end if your neighbor puts you to shame? If you take your neighbor to court, don't tell others any secrets you promised to keep. If you do, someone might hear it and put you to shame, and the charge against you will stand. The right ruling at the right time is like golden apples in silver jewelry. A wise judge's warning to a listening ear is like a gold earring or jewelry made of fine gold. A messenger trusted by the one who sends him is like a drink cooled by snow at harvest time. He renews the spirit of his master. A person who brags about gifts never given is like wind and clouds that don't produce rain. If you are patient, you can win an official over to your side, and gentle words can break a bone. If you find honey, eat just enough. If you eat too much of it, you will throw up. Don't go to your neighbor's home very often. if they see you too much, they will hate you. A person who is a false witness against a neighbor is like a club, a sword, or a sharp arrow. Trusting someone who is not faithful when trouble comes is like a broken tooth or a disabled foot. You may sing songs to a troubled heart, but that's like taking a coat away on a cold day. It's like pouring vinegar on a wound. If your enemy is hungry, give him food to eat. If he's thirsty, give him water to drink. By doing these things, you will pile up burning coals on his head, and the Lord will reward you. Like a north wind that brings rain you didn't expect is a crafty tongue that brings looks of shock. It is better to live on a corner of a roof than to share a house with a nagging wife. Hearing good news from a land far away is like drinking cold water when you are tired. Sometimes godly people give in to those who are evil. Then they become like a muddy spring of water or a polluted well. It isn't good for you to eat too much honey, and you shouldn't try to search out matters too deep for you. A person without self-control is like a city whose walls are broken through. Proverbs 26. It isn't proper to honor a foolish person. That's like having snow in summer or rain at harvest time. A curse given for no reason is like a wandering bird or a flying sparrow. It doesn't go anywhere. A whip is for a horse, and a harness is for a donkey, and beating is for the backs of foolish people. Don't answer a foolish person in keeping with their foolish acts. If you do, you yourself will be just like them. Answer a foolish person in keeping with their foolish acts. If you do not, they will be wise in their own eyes. Sending a message in the hand of a foolish person is like cutting off your feet or drinking poison. A proverb in the mouth of a foolish person is like disabled legs that are useless. Giving honor to a foolish person is like tying a stone in a slingshot. A proverb in the mouth of a foolish person is like a thorn in the hand of someone who is drunk. Anyone who hires a foolish person or someone who is passing by is like a person who shoots arrows at just anybody. Foolish people who do the same foolish things again are like a dog that returns to where it has thrown up. Do you see a person who is wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for a foolish person than for them. A person who doesn't want to work says, "There's a lion in the road. There's an angry lion wandering in the streets." A person who doesn't want to work turns over in bed just like a door that swings back and forth. A person who doesn't want to work leaves his hand in his plate. He acts as if he is too tired to bring his hand back up to his mouth. A person who doesn't want to work is wiser in his own eyes than 7 people who give careful answers. Don't be quick to get mixed up in someone else's fight. That's like grabbing a stray dog by its ears. Suppose a crazy person shoots flaming arrows that can kill. Someone who lies to their neighbor and says, "I was only joking," is just like that crazy person. If you don't have wood, your fire goes out. If you don't talk about others, arguing dies down. Coal glows and wood burns, and a person who argues stirs up conflict. The words of anyone who talks about others are like tasty bites of food. They go deep down inside you. Warm words that come from an evil heart are like a shiny coating on a clay pot. Enemies use their words as a mask. They hide their evil plans in their hearts. Even though what they say can be charming, don't believe them. That's because 7 things God hates fill that person's heart. Their hatred can be hidden by lies, but their evil plans will be shown to everyone. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. If someone rolls a big stone, it will roll back on them. A tongue that tells lies hates the people it hurts, and words that seem to praise you destroy you. Proverbs 27. Don't brag about tomorrow. You don't know what a day will bring. Let another person praise you and not your own mouth. Let an outsider praise you and not your own lips. Stones are heavy and sand weighs a lot, but letting a foolish person make you angry is a heavier load than both of them. Anger is mean, and great anger overpowers you. But who can face jealousy? Being warned openly is better than being loved in secret. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy kisses you many times. When you are full, you even hate honey. When you are hungry, even what is bitter tastes sweet. Anyone who runs away from home is like a bird that flies away from its nest. Perfume and incense bring joy to your heart, and the sweetness of a friend comes from their honest advice. Don't desert your friend or a friend of your family, and don't go to your relative's house when trouble strikes you. A neighbor nearby is better than a relative far away. My son, be wise and bring joy to my heart. Then I can answer anyone who makes fun of me. Wise people see danger and go to a safe place, but childish people keep on going and suffer for it. Take the coat of one who puts up money for what a stranger owes. Hold it until you get paid back if it is done for an outsider. Suppose you loudly bless your neighbor early in the morning. Then you might as well be cursing him. A nagging wife is like the dripping of a leaky roof in a rainstorm. Stopping her is like trying to stop the wind. It's like trying to grab olive oil with your hand. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. A person who guards a fig tree will eat its fruit, and a person who protects their master will be honored. When you look into water, you see a likeness of your face. When you look into your heart, you see what you are really like. Death and the grave are never satisfied. People's eyes are never satisfied either. Fire tests silver and heat tests gold, but people are tested by the praise they receive. Suppose you could grind a foolish person in a mill. Suppose you could grind them as you would grind grain with a tool. Even then you could not remove their foolishness from them. Be sure you know how your flocks are doing. Pay careful attention to your herds. Riches don't last forever, and a crown is not secure for all time to come. The hay is removed and new growth appears. The grass from the hills is gathered in. Then your lambs will provide you with clothes, and the money from selling your goats will buy you a field. You will have plenty of goat's milk to feed your family. It will also feed your female servants. Proverbs 28. Sinners run away even when no one is chasing them, but those who do what is right are as bold as lions. A country has many rulers when its people don't obey, but an understanding ruler knows how to keep order. A ruler who treats poor people badly is like a pounding rain that leaves no crops. Those who turn away from instruction praise sinners, but those who learn from it oppose them. Sinful people don't understand what is right, but those who worship the Lord understand it completely. It is better to be poor and live without blame than to be rich and follow a crooked path. A child who understands what is right learns from instruction, but a child who likes to eat too much brings shame on his father. Someone might get rich by taking interest or profit from poor people, but that person only piles up wealth for someone who will be kind to poor people. If you don't pay attention to my instruction, even your prayers are hated. Those who lead honest people down an evil path will fall into their own trap, but those who are without blame will receive good things. Rich people may think they are wise, but a poor person with understanding knows that rich people are fooling themselves. When godly people win, everyone is very happy. But when sinners take charge, everyone hides. Anyone who hides their sins doesn't succeed, but anyone who admits their sins and gives them up finds mercy. Blessed is the one who always trembles in front of God, but anyone who makes their heart stubborn will get into trouble. An evil person who rules over helpless people is like a roaring lion or an angry bear. A ruler who is mean to his people takes money from them by force. But one who hates money gained in the wrong way will rule a long time. Anyone troubled by the guilt of murder will seek to escape their guilt by death. No one should keep them from it. Anyone who lives without blame is kept safe, but anyone whose path is crooked will fall into the pit. Those who work their land will have plenty of food, but those who chase dreams will be very poor. A faithful person will be richly blessed, but anyone who wants to get rich will be punished. Favoring one person over another is not good, but a person will do wrong for a piece of bread. Those who won't share what they have want to get rich. They don't know they are going to be poor. It is better to warn a person than to pretend to praise them. In the end, that person will be more pleased with you. Anyone who steals from their parents and says it's not wrong is just like someone who destroys. People who always want more stir up conflict, but those who trust in the Lord will succeed. Those who trust in themselves are foolish, but those who live wisely are kept safe. Those who give to poor people will have all they need, but those who close their eyes to the poor will receive many curses. When those who are evil take charge, other people hide. But when those who are evil die, godly people grow stronger. Proverbs 29. Whoever still won't obey after being warned many times will suddenly be destroyed. Nothing can save them. When those who do right grow stronger, the people are glad. But when those who do wrong become rulers, the people groan. A man who loves wisdom makes his father glad, but a man who spends time with prostitutes wastes his father's wealth. By doing what is fair, a king makes a country secure, but those who only want money tear it down. Those who only pretend to praise their neighbors are spreading a net to catch them by the feet. Sinful people are trapped by their own sin, but godly people shout for joy and are glad. Those who do what is right want to treat poor people fairly, but those who do what is wrong don't care about the poor. Those who make fun of others stir up a city, but wise people turn anger away. Suppose a wise person goes to court with a foolish person. Then the foolish person gets mad and pokes fun, and there is no peace. Murderers hate honest people. They try to kill those who do what is right. Foolish people let their anger run wild, but wise people keep themselves under control. If rulers listen to lies, all their officials become evil. The Lord gives sight to the eyes of poor people and those who treat others badly. That's what they both have in common. If a king judges poor people fairly, his throne will always be secure. If a child is corrected, they become wise. But a child who is not corrected brings shame to their mother. When those who do wrong grow stronger, so does sin. But those who do right will see them destroyed. If you correct your children, they will give you peace. They will bring you the delights you desire. Where there is no message from God, people don't control themselves. But blessed is the one who obeys wisdom's instruction. Servants can't be corrected only by words. Even if they understand, they won't obey. Have you seen someone who speaks without thinking? There is more hope for foolish people than for that person. A servant who has been spoiled from youth will have no respect for you later on. An angry person stirs up fights, and a person with a bad temper commits many sins. Pride brings a person low, but those whose spirits are low will be honored. To help a thief is to become your own enemy. When you go to court, you won't dare to say anything. If you are afraid of people, it will trap you. But if you trust in the Lord, He will keep you safe. Many people want to meet a ruler, but only the Lord sees that people are treated fairly. Those who do what is right hate dishonest people. Those who do what is wrong hate honest people. Proverbs 30. The sayings of Agur. These sayings are the words of Agur, son of Jacob. These sayings came from God. This man said to Ithiel, I am weary, God, but I can still have success. Surely I am only a dumb animal and not a man. I don't understand as other men do. I haven't learned wisdom, and I don't know the things the Holy One knows. Who has gone up to heaven and come down? Whose hands have gathered up the wind? Who has wrapped up the waters in a coat? Who has set in place all the boundaries of the earth? What is his name? What is his son's name? Surely you know. Every word of God is perfect. He is like a shield to those who trust in him. He keeps them safe. Don't add to his words. If you do, he will correct you. He will prove that you are a liar. Lord, I ask you for two things. Don't refuse me before I die. Keep lies far away from me. Don't make me either poor or rich, but give me only the bread I need each day. If you don't, I might have too much. Then I might say, I don't know you. I might say, who is the Lord? Or I might become poor and steal. Then I would bring shame to the name of my God. Don't tell lies about a servant when you talk to their master. If you do, they will curse you, and you will pay for your lies. Some people curse their fathers. Others don't bless their mothers. Some are pure in their own eyes, but their dirty sins haven't been washed away. Some have eyes that are very proud. They look down on others. Some people have teeth like swords. The teeth in their jaws are as sharp as knives. They are ready to eat up the poor people of the earth. They are ready to eat up those who are the most needy. A leech has two daughters. They cry out, give, give. 3 things are never satisfied. 4 things never say enough. The first is the grave. The second is a woman who can't have a baby. The third is land, which never gets enough water. And the fourth is fire, which never says enough. One person makes fun of their father. Another doesn't honor their mother when she is old. The ravens of the valley will peck out their eyes. Then the vultures will eat them. 3 things are too amazing for me. There are 4 things I don't understand. The first is the way of an eagle in the sky. The second is the way of a snake on a rock. The third is the way of a ship on the ocean. And the fourth is the way of a man with a young woman. This is the way of a woman who commits adultery. She eats and wipes her mouth. Then she says, I haven't done anything wrong. Under 3 things the earth shakes. Under 4 things it can't stand up. The first is a servant who becomes a king. The second is a foolish and ungodly person who gets plenty to eat. The third is a mean woman who gets married. And the fourth is a servant who takes the place of a woman she works for. 4 things on earth are small, but they are very wise. The first are ants, which aren't very strong, but they store up their food in the summer. The second are hyraxes, which aren't very powerful, but they make their home among the rocks. The third are locusts, which don't have a king, but they all march forward in ranks. And the fourth are lizards, which your hand can catch, but you will find them in kings' palaces. Three things walk as if they were kings. Four things move as kings do. The first is a lion, which is mighty among the animals. It doesn't back away from anything. The second is a rooster, which walks proudly. The third is a billy goat. And the fourth is a king who is secure against any who might oppose him. Do you do foolish things? Do you think you are better than others? Do you plan evil? If you do, put your hand over your mouth and stop talking. If you churn cream, you will produce butter. If you twist a nose, you will produce blood. And if you stir up anger, you will produce a fight. Proverbs 31. The sayings of King Lemuel. These are the sayings of King Lemuel. His mother taught them to him. These sayings came from God. Listen, my son. Listen, my very own son. Listen, you who are the answer to my prayers. Don't waste your strength on women. Don't waste it on those who destroy kings. Lemuel, it isn't good for kings to drink wine. It isn't good for rulers to long for beer. If they do, they might drink and forget what has been commanded. They might take away the rights of all those who are treated badly. Let beer be for those who are dying. Let wine be for those who are sad and troubled. Let them drink and forget how poor they are. Let them forget their suffering. Speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Speak up for the rights of all those who are poor. Speak up and judge fairly. Speak up for the rights of those who are poor and needy. The excellent woman. Who can find an excellent woman? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband trusts her completely. She gives him all the important things he needs. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She chooses wool and flax. She loves to work with her hands. She is like the ships of traders. She brings her food from far away. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family. She also gives some to her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. She uses some of the money she earns to plant a vineyard. She gets ready to work hard. Her arms are strong. She sees that her trading earns a lot of money. Her lamp doesn't go out at night. With one hand she holds the wool. With the other she spins the thread. She opens her arms to those who are poor. She reaches out her hands to those who are needy. When it snows, she's not afraid for her family. All of them are dressed in the finest clothes. She makes her own bed coverings. She is dressed in fine linen and purple clothes. Her husband is respected at the city gate. There he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen clothes and sells them. She supplies belts to the traders. She puts on strength and honor as if they were her clothes. She can laugh at the days that are coming. She speaks wisely. She teaches faithfully. She watches over family matters. She is busy all the time. Her children stand up and call her blessed. Her husband also rises up and he praises her. He says, "Many women do excellent things, but you are better than all the others." Charm can fool you, beauty fades, but a woman who has respect for the Lord should be praised. Give her honor for all that her hands have done. Let everything she has done bring praise to her at the city gate.